Hi everybody, and I have today got Maha, who is a senior relationship manager of DAMAC, and she works with a massive client portfolio and spends every day working with clients, discussing projects, making deals and making really very good decisions with, especially with the clients who come from outside of Dubai. So this episode is all about the clarity, what matters, what to ignore, and how actually we do a smart buying, especially the real estate in Dubai, and especially for those people who are new to Dubai. And just so that you know that where I'm coming from, I work as a broker, as you all know me. And especially for off-plan, I keep in touch and keep in tune with all the representatives of the major development companies. So that's why I'm doing this episode. The goal is simple. The more information I give online, the more information that I talk about, it will help serious buyers to make the wise decisions, especially when it comes to the real estate. As I told you, I have Maha with me.
Hi, Aditya.
How are you doing, Maha?
You're good. I'm good. Thank you very much.
So if you can just tell me what your role is exactly in DAMAC and what you do on a regular basis.
So basically, as you have mentioned, I'm a senior relationship manager in DAMAC. Basically, I have two types of clients. First one is the broker. Okay. Dubai Real Estate Broker is my client, where I explain for them my projects. And then the other client is the real client or the investor, where I meet this client and we discuss further the business, the strategies, exit plans, why to invest in X project or Y project. Based on that, I support them to make the right decision.
So, especially if I talk about in 2025 and 2026, when you come across buyers, what they look for mainly, like for example, like lifestyle or the comfort, especially the payment plan, what they focus more on, what you have observed in the past 1 year that the focus is shifting from one place to another.
Okay, basically it's always depending on the client's requirements. Are they end users or investors? But the lifestyle plays a big role. That's why in DAMAC we always focus on the lifestyle, the amenities, the activities, the services that we provide in all our projects. So lifestyle is very important. And then of course we go to the location, the payment plan, square foot price, etc.
So as we are recording this in the month of February 2026, and what I can tell you about the data which I have ready available with me of the last year from the reliable sources and official channel. So especially I must highlight this thing to my viewers that when we talk about the volume, especially if I talk about 2025, every 7 deal out of 10 deals which happened in Dubai in real estate were off plans. And surprisingly, out of approximately 650 billion dirhams, 450 billion dirhams were absolutely, totally and off-plan deals. So my next question to Maha is going to be in relation to that. So while you see off-plan is still dominating, and why do buyers keep choosing it over the ready projects? Like why do they choose off-plans over the ready projects?
So Aditya, we always say cash is king. So we always advise our investors to go for off-plan projects where the payment plans are super flexible, they are not affecting the cash flow, business or lifestyle. Plus, the off-plan projects always has the lower entry price and a huge potential for a capital appreciation. Plus, we always advise our clients to invest where the government is investing, because all of the developments that will be happening in those, especially new areas of Dubai, will be having a huge, let's say, potential to increase the price in those areas. As DAMAC last year, 2025, we closed $10 billion, even more than $10 billion in sales of off-plan.
Wonderful. So according to you, one of the reasons why people choose for off-plan than the ready properties because the ease in the cash flows, where if they opt for a ready property, they don't have to look for they don't really compromise their full liquidity.
Of course.
And plus, they just have to invest a fraction of what they are planning to invest. And on that basis, with, let's say, for example, all of your plans have 25% in the beginning if somebody wants to buy our property. So instead of investing 100% in one go,
Exactly.
we ask for 25%, and on the top of it, the buyers can have the appreciation on the entire 100% by investing only 25% and through the payment plans.
Exactly, depending, of course, on the developer. When the client is buying off plan, he has multi strategies to invest. He can exit during construction, for example, or he can, let's say, wait until it's handed over and then resell the property with the highest premium. And let me add something, Aditya. Today in Dubai, we are the only city that we provide a pre-title deed on an off-plan project.
Correct.
So investors are secured. There's an escrow account with the government. There's the Aqood or the pre-title deed where even Dubai Land Department, they issue it even though the project is still off-plan and even though you didn't complete your full amount. So this is why it's encouraging people to invest in off-plan more than ready.
I see. Plus, according to me, I think as a broker, what I've seen is the sense of security, especially when all the overseas clients comes to Dubai. The kind of security, the kind of assurance that the Dubai government gives is really phenomenal. I mean, I have visited many parts of the world. I come from India, and this kind of security and sense of assurance is not available anywhere else across Dubai. I think this is one of the biggest reasons why, all the people from around the globe keep flocking to Dubai, especially, right after the COVID.
Exactly, Aditya. People are searching for safety, for stability, and of course, don't forget zero tax on income. And that's something very important now around the world. Taxes are increasing and people, they are selling their properties abroad to invest in Dubai and diverse their investments.
So when I talk about especially the buyers, especially DAMAC projects, so what kind of change that you have seen since 2024, or maybe if you compare it last year to that of last year?
So since 2024, definitely the portfolio of nationalities got higher. We have multinationalities now. Everyone, they are moving again their business, their families to Dubai. So I cannot tell you one nationality as much as I can tell you that most of the nationalities, they are buying in the market. Not to forget, we are international. We do roadshows around the world, from Shanghai to Japan to UK to Europe to all the Arabic countries. So we are mainly, let's say, very well known internationally. So that's what is getting more people to invest in the market itself.
I see. And if I, just add on to this question a little bit more, since 2024 and what we are seeing now, so what kind of buyers are coming now? Like there are more townhouse buyers, or maybe the buyers who are more inclined towards the apartments, or what kind of buyers change that you have observed?
Definitely communities now is where people are looking at in general, let's say. But it always depends again on the client needs. Most of them, yes, they are going to communities and townhouses, but there are a big partial of people who are looking for apartments around Dubai, for rentals, for, let's say, holiday homes. So it's always depending on the client himself. What is the purpose of buying? And that's the first question I always ask the client.
Since we're talking about the behavior of the clients,
Yeah.
as a broker, let me just tell you, because we keep sharing, our thoughts with each other.
Of course, we're one team at the end of the day.
Yeah. And that really helps in, sorting the best possible options to whosoever comes across. As a broker, what I've seen for the last couple of years, the kind of change in the pattern of buyers, when you talk about the townhouses and the gated communities where they will get everything in one place,
Yeah.
alongside owning their own land.
Yeah,
And
correct.
the villa or maybe the townhouse on top of it. I think the number of these buyers have increased substantially as compared to the apartment owners.
Definitely.
So one attribute that has contributed to this part is the rising prices and the kind of appreciation that the apartments have seen, or we have seen an appreciation in terms of the apartment category. They have reached to a level where a person can really have a townhouse in the same price.
Exactly.
So I think, in my opinion, in addition to what you have told us, I have seen a massive, drive in terms of the number of buyers who come for a townhouse as compared to the apartment. So moving this conversation to a lighter side a little bit. So let me ask you, Maha, what where you come across every sort of clients. Some of them are serious, some of them are not.
Yeah.
So being a sales manager, being a relationship manager, being interacting with multiple clients through different agencies on a regular basis, what is that one point that categorizes a serious buyer from that of a casual buyer?
To be honest, the buyer knowing what he wants, and that's very important, because today if you want to buy something, you need to know what is it and what is the purpose of buying it. And this is where I know the client is serious or not, especially when he starts to interact or ask questions like the square foot price, the payment plan, the calculations, the strategies, the exit plan of the project. Here where I know that the client made his homework and he's really coming to get information and to get an advice to proceed with or implementing his plan.
So my next question is going to be like, what, as a broker, what I have observed is for the past, let's say 4 or 5 years, the payment plan has become itself a product.
Yes.
So we have seen many of the developments, coming up with a very economical payment plan, like 0.5%, 1% on a regular basis, on a monthly basis. So how you see this move? I mean, is that because if I know about DAMAC, 1% payment plan was there in your previous projects.
Correct.
So that, and you have seen DAMAC, how they have performed when this product, this 1% thing was not there. So do you really think that this has really helped in, boosting up the numbers?
Yeah, let me tell you something, and I always say it, DAMAC is proactive, which means that we study the market, we know the needs of the people, and then we implement our plans based on that. Definitely the 1% payment plan is something making the people's life easier, again, because of the cash flow. So when your payment plan is 1%, you are owning something very luxurious in a very promising area, and you're only paying 1% monthly installments. So it will not be affecting you or your business in the future.
All right. So just for the sake of information, Maha, if you can just run us across the process of when a client comes, he likes the project, and what is the process which is followed after that, when he is about to make a booking?
Okay, so basically we require a 5% booking fees.
Depending on the project.
Definitely. So basically, first of all is the booking fees, and then completing the down payment within 2 weeks. Then we have the signature of the reservation form, where it will be sent to the client. After that, the SPA will be out, which is the sales purchase agreement, also will be signed by the client and us, and then sent back to the client, signed by us, and the other copy will be sent to Dubai Land Department to register the property. After that, there will be the payment plan, the construction updates. After that, whenever the project is ready, we will be doing the handing over, let's say, time, which we will be doing the snagging, and then handing over the property with the title deed, of course. The process is very easy. Everything is online. No need for the client to come to Dubai if he is not able to. So everything is digital, everything on the emails officially, where it's making people's and investors' life easy.
So again, coming back to that product category where, DAMAC has actually made their payment plans according to the monthly installments, like 1%. Even I've seen some of the projects which have offered in the past, like 0.2% in your apartment category. So talking about this proposition in total, have you seen this product proposition as a basis of any kind of mistakes that buyers do? Like, for example, I'll just try to elaborate my question a little bit more. Like, this is the most attractive feature these days across all the developers, like 1% payment plan, 0.5% payment plan. So what kind of, and I see a lot of units in many other developments which comes in cancellations. So do you really think that, this is where the people get wrong? I mean, they do enter the project without even knowing the full part of it. I mean, how you see that?
So basically, this is one of the reasons. Today, the client needs to let us know what is the budget he's putting to invest. Because I don't want him to enter to a project and then not be able to pay the payments, and then cancellation will come. I always tell my client, at least have 50% of the property in your pocket ready and go with the payment plan. So this is one of the mistakes, of course. And the other mistake that usually investors do, they look into the lowest price. The lowest price is not the best price, or it's not, let's say, the best property to invest in. because there are multiple factors today that plays a big role in pricing. The square foot size, the let's say the view of the unit, the layout of the unit, which floor is the unit on. So we need to choose something that has all of those factors in one property and provide it to the client and make sure that the client is able to complete the payments.
And one more point, Maha, I've seen many of my investors, especially the first time buyers, they do a kind of a perception building before they go for any kind of project in Dubai especially. They think that once they invest in an off-plan property, and once the property gets handed over, the finance becomes automatic. So it doesn't happen, because I've seen many of the buyers doing that, once the property will get ready, and obviously Dubai is a kind of a place which eases out in many other factors, including bank finance. So this doesn't happen automatically. I've seen some of the people, going wrong in that part.
Okay, so basically regarding the mortgage and the banking thing, like as DAMAC, we have a team where it is a mortgage team. They will be sitting with the client, qualify the client, and we deal with over 15 banks. So the mortgage is not always guaranteed, but it is there. Of course, it's depending on the client's portfolio. Is he living here? Is he not? And there are Dubai Land Department laws regarding the mortgage for resident, so, let's say for the residents in Dubai and non-residents in Dubai. It depends on the portfolio itself.
Okay, so what I can tell you as a broker, a lot of people, as I said, just because Dubai attraction and all other factors, they end up investing in any project, for example, and they assume that the finance will automatically happen when the handover will take place. So let me tell you one thing very clearly here, that even in Dubai, like all other banks around the globe, the banks do evaluate the client's profile basis their residency. If the client is or the buyer is not a resident, then the financial eligibility reduces substantially. So I want to make a very important point where do not assume things that bank finances will happen automatically. So if you're planning to buy an off-plan and planning to take a mortgage at the end of the handover, do consult your bank, do consult banks here in Dubai, check your eligibility on the basis of your financial papers. If you are a businessman, it has to be according to that. If you are a salaried employee, it will be in line with that. So this is very important that nobody should ignore. So moving ahead, especially when we are sitting in 2026, there's a whole new era of the real estate. So what, according to you as a relationship manager, would be the better approach, like the smaller unit in a better phase or a bigger unit in a later phase?
Okay, let me tell you something. Definitely, the bigger layout, always the square foot price goes lower. That's by default. But again, it depends on the project itself and the location of the project. Based on that, I do the advice. Sometimes clients might ask me, okay, Maha, I want a 2-bedroom in that project. Sometimes I do advise them in the 2-bedroom and tell them, yes, go for it, because this location requires this 2-bedroom. Sometimes I tell them, no, take 2 units, 1 bedroom, diverse your portfolio or your investment, because this specific location needs the 1 bedroom, let's say. So it always depends on the location, the project that we are providing. Here I can advise the client, and definitely depends on his budget as well.
Okay, one very important thing, Ma, when somebody invests in an off-plan property, right from the very beginning, they become very conscious about the construction updates.
Correct.
And which, even if there is a phenomena where even if you make your own villa or your own apartment or your own house for that matter, even the timelines when you decide does not match the exact dates. So what's your take on to those kind of buyers who keep reviewing the construction updates, who keep coming back to you when it is going to hand over? So what is the one piece of advice that you would like to give them?
Basically, I do understand it's their right. But today, when they are choosing a developer that already delivered over 49,000 properties in the market, and we started like 2002, and another 50,000 properties in the pipeline, they know the developer they are working with. So my advice to them is, don't worry, there's Dubai Rest, there's DLD, there's RERA, all of those governmental sectors, they are taking care of that. So you can do the follow-ups on Dubai Rest if you'd like. and just trust the developer that you are buying from, because we are very well known in the market already, and we have delivered multiple, let's say, properties across Dubai and the world.
Correct. And I want to add on to this point that there are some projects, especially of DAMAC, they were delivered even ahead of the times.
Correct.
Like if I want to name few, the one thing which comes into my mind is Santorini. That one of the beautiful and the widest and the most spacious community that I've ever seen in Dubai, especially onto this lane of the road. And so this is what I can tell to all the buyers, that whenever they want to invest or they have invested in the off-plan project, so they have to keep a little bit of a margin when it comes to your financial planning. Whenever that you see it getting ready, a little bit of little margin here and there is always advised.
True.
My next question is going to be about the golden visa that most people I see remains very curious about.
Yeah.
Especially the first time buyers, and also the buyers who are already here in Dubai. So if you can just tell us what are the golden visa criteria, when somebody wants to buy a property.
So basically it should be a 2 million plus property. And that's it. So the client pays the down payment, and then the Aqood will be issued, the pre-title deed. After that, the client can start with the process of the golden visa for him and for his family. So basically, he's not only buying a property, he's buying stability for him and his family for 10 years.
I understand. So does it mean that a client has to give the entire 2 million to any developer or to DAMAC, let's say?
If it's an off-plan project, when down payment is paid and pre-title deed is out, we can directly start with the visa processing or the golden visa processing. We also have our, let's say, Prypco team, which is a sister company of DAMAC. We do provide the golden visas, let's say, procedure for our clients as well.
Wonderful. So you mean to say that it is not a criteria to pay the entire 2 million, even if the property is an off plan.
Correct.
If you have paid, let's say, 30% of it.
24%, which is the down payment mainly, is enough. Whenever the pre-title deed is out, definitely we can start.
So that qualifies for the golden visa.
Correct.
Even when somebody has not paid the entire 2 million.
Correct.
But the property value has to be of 2 million and
2
plus.
million plus. Correct.
So Maha, one very important question, since we keep seeing all the residential communities, towers all around us. So what is your take on to the commercial projects? That is one of, the points that I always wanted to discuss.
Regarding the commercials, it's very much wanted in the market, especially it's very limited in the market. So the key to make money in Dubai real estate market is the limitation. Basically, we have a new project called Piazza Roma in DAMAC Lagoons in Santorini,
Yes.
the one that you like, the same community. We have the offices now, which is in the community itself. Our square foot prices are competitive in the market. Now people, they are running away from Business Bay, the IFC, let's say Sheikh Zayed Road, the main hubs. They are running away out of it because of the traffic there. And they are needing, let's say, bigger layouts and bigger sizes of offices. So definitely I do advise on the offices because it's very limited in the market. And Piazza Roma is one of the very good, let's say, options in the market now, and very promising in the market.
So if I talk about the appreciation according to you, I have my own, version of opinion.
Yeah.
But I've always seen, correct me if I'm wrong, Maha, I've always seen the commercial projects because, let's say, for example, if there is a tower in which 100 apartments are there, let's say if it's of 10 story, and on to the ground level, they have 4 retail shops. So you can see easily the kind of availability that is there for those 100 apartments. So the appreciation are likewise, or it is as compared to the residential projects or residential units, the appreciation is more onto the commercial side.
The idea of the new project is that we have a commercial tower, which is 8 floors each. Between the 2 towers, there's a mall. And there's beside it 4 towers residential, where we have studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. So that's the combination that is rare in the market itself. We did this idea in the DAMAC Hills 1 in District, if you remember it,
Yes.
where we had the offices and the apartments. Now we did it again in the DAMAC Lagoons because of the success that happened in the DAMAC District. So people can live there People can work there, just a walking distance to their office. And definitely for your question that you were asking me about the commercial and the residential, the appreciation between them. Now, again, the offices are very limited in the market. So definitely the capital appreciation of the offices will appear a little bit faster than the apartments. I'm not saying apartments will not do appreciation. It will do when we are choosing the right location, the right price, the right payment plan, the right developer, it will. But definitely commercial is, let's say, faster in appreciation because of the demand and the supply.
I understand. So what you're trying to say here is, for the kind of communities that DAMAC is actually coming up with, like Islands 1, Islands 2, DAMAC Lagoons for that matter. So you are building the community, not just a community, but everything which impacts the regular life.
We are creating lifestyles that no one can do. No one did it before. We created the water communities. We came up with the cities and the clusters. So we create for you a city within a city. No need for you to go out unless you have work.
Correct.
So now you have your office in DAMAC Lagoon. So no need for you to go out at all. So yes, I can tell you proudly, we are #1 in terms of communities, amenities, services, and lifestyle. I live in DAMAC's communities. I invested in DAMAC's communities, and I'm working in DAMAC communities. So the lifestyle there cannot be compared by any other community, with my full respect.
So what is that one thing, Maha, that you see DAMAC doing differently from other developers?
Basically, the amenities that we provide, we always come out of the box. We do something that is still new in Dubai. And this is what DAMAC are very well known about, the amenities that we provide even in our buildings. So you live a luxury lifestyle wherever you are.
So Maha, tell me something about, again coming back to the projects and the new launches. Since you have covered the process of once the decision is made, what has to be followed. But let's say, for example, if a new project is launched, when people start seeing the hoardings, the brochures, they all sort of information around them. So how a person can really apply for one of these launches?
So any new launch in Dubai, the developers usually requests an expression of interest, where it will be allowing the client to get a chance and a priority in the project.
So this is what you call EOI?
Exactly. EOI, it's expression of interest. The client transfer a specific amount depending on the project, where we put his name on the system. Now, we do know all of the details of the project, the location, the payment plan, how it's looking like, what are the amenities, what are we providing in the property itself. But the only thing missing is the unit itself. Which unit? So this will be allocated or chosen on the booking events, depending on the token number that the clients put. So basically, who comes first takes first. We go by date always in DAMAC. So the sooner you put the expression of interest, the better priorities you can get.
So you're talking about once the project is officially announced.
Yes.
And which is followed by the launch event in which actual units are to be assigned.
Yeah. Okay. So we know the average price of the property. We explain to the client the average price is between this and that, depending on the view, on the location, on the size, on the floor. Put your expression of interest. On the booking date, we will be preparing with you beforehand what are your requirements. Based on that, on your token number and time slot, we will be choosing for you. So there's something common that people think that, okay, in the event, for example, let's say apartments. Some people, they took a unit, let's say for 1 million dirhams, and I took a unit for 1.3. So DAMAC increased the price during the event. And this is a mistake. We do not increase the prices in the event. The thing is that there's, let's say, multiple options for the same 1 bedroom. So 1 million and 1.3 million, there is a difference, let's say, maybe in the size, in the floor, in the view. So that's what plays a big role. Today, the earlier entry we enter, definitely the better options and availability we have to choose from.
I understand. And one more thing, Maha, I have seen, we have been together in most of the events recently.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a crazy environment there, especially when the units are getting allocated. So I see a lot of people getting disappointed where they are not getting the units as per their preferred location. Like somebody wants a single row, somebody wants, I mean, not somebody, like everybody wants to have a unit close to the amenities like park, pool, or maybe the exit and entry gate, so at least their commute becomes convenient. So what is the one advice that you would like to give to all my clients so that they make sure that they get the best of the inventories?
So as you said, you were with me in the events of DAMAC. We break records. We broke records in the DAMAC Islands 1. We sold 10 billion in 10 hours. Then we broke our other Guinness World Record in the DAMAC Islands 2. We sold over 12 billion in 5 hours. So when we ask the client for an EOI, it's not we are pushing him to. Please put your EOI, we go by date. Help us to help you get a better unit or to entertain your expression of interest. That's why DAMAC made 2 types of EOIs. One EOI is the approximate 5%. The second is the VIP token, which is approximately the full down payment. Anyways, the client will be paying the down payment, correct?
So let's say, for example, if the EOI is on the basis of 5% of the total price of any unit, the VIP token is going to be the entire down payment. It means not the entire amount, just the 20 or 25% of the entire unit price. That's what you mean?
It's something like that. Basically, DAMAC will send us an official email with the VIP tokens amount, where clients always they upgrade it to. Because in the events, first of all, we start with the bulk dealers. Definitely you know that. After that, we go by the VIP tokens. After that, we go by the normal tokens. Both EOIs, VIP or normal, is 100% refundable if we didn't book. If the client didn't sign on the reservation form, the money is 100% refundable. So it's not a commitment, it's not a booking, it's a chance to get you into the project itself and get a better priority, price and unit.
I understand. So what you mean to say is you pay in advance what you anyways have to pay in the next 30 to 45 days, and why not to have the better placed unit?
Exactly. And the client needs to know that we are fighters at the end of the day. So we always try to entertain the client's EOIs. We always try to push here and there to get them units. So they know that they have a fighter in DAMAC for them and for you, definitely. So we always do our best to make our clients happy.
In my opinion, I've always recommended all the people, that I have been convincing to invest in DAMAC, better to go for a VIP token rather than having the normal EOIs, because you have to pay the entire the booking amount of that 20-25% in the coming 30 to 40 days.
Definitely, he's giving us the power at least. He is helping us to help him. And that's very important.
And I have, as a broker, I've seen, because you represent the developer, I represent the developer, I represent the secondary sales also in the secondary market. I have seen the best placed units are always in demand, and they always in the secondary market, no matter when the seller wants to exit that particular project, maybe on the time of the handover, maybe in between, the construction process, or whenever he sees any kind of premium on the projects. The better placed unit always have a better premium, at least 10 to 15% more than the regular ones. Like, I'm not trying to demean all the other units, but obviously when you have the best to choose from, why not?
Definitely.
And so better, whenever you are trying to book any off-plan units, try to pay that. At least that's what I try to convince my investors and my clients, that anyways you have to pay 45 after 45 days this amount. Why not now? So at least have a better priced unit.
Exactly.
So Maha, tell me one question that I come across every time, and I have my own versions to answer that. But since you are here, so I must formally ask you, what are your views when somebody asks you what is the future of real estate in Dubai in 2026?
So 2026 is still in the growth mode as per the developments that they are happening by the government in specific areas in Dubai. And as DAMAC, it's the new era of DAMAC. What I can tell you that the market is still good to invest. Don't wait. Invest and wait. And from DAMAC perspective or side, we will shake the market in 2026.
That's wonderful, Maha. On just to add on to this part, especially I get a lot of this, like I told you, like what is going to happen in 2026. Ever since the COVID era happened, like I'm talking about the 2021, people have never seen since that point of time the market prices are falling down. So they are a little bit worried about when the correction is going to happen. But even me as a broker, I am little bit, sometimes gets worried about, yes, because market, this is also an asset.
This is normal
normal.
Like the correction is normal to happen, but definitely it will be happening in specific areas.
Specifically.
Not in the new areas where Dubai is developing.
Correct.
So that's why I always advise my client, choose the right location, because no matter what happens in the market, you are in a safe place.
Correct.
So when you choose the right, again, please, that's very important. Choose the right location, choose the right developer, choose the right square foot price, and choose the right payment plan. Do not have surprises. Today, anything you invest in is risky. Gold, crypto, silver, real estate, but the safest investment is real estate because it's an asset at the end of the day, especially in Dubai where the market dynamic is very fast.
Correct.
So this is something very important.
And a very common perception that I've seen that you will also agree with. The moment that client invests in any of the properties, may it be a off-plan project or may it be a ready property, they start evaluating the performance of that particular asset class or the particular property right from the next day. So this is not how it should happen. Like even if you invest in stocks, forget about the real estate market. It's a big asset allocation.
What comes fast disappears fast.
Of course, which comes fast, which disappears really fast.
At any moment.
Any moment. So whenever it comes to the real estate in particular, when it comes to the asset category, you have to keep the patience. You have to be a little bit more patient than others.
Any project in Dubai real estate market off plan needs 1.5 to 2 years at least to mature enough to show you the capital appreciation. It will not be happening the next day. Definitely there are some projects, for example, like the DAMAC Islands, people within 9 months made from 7.5 to 12.6% appreciation. It happens, but in general, no, you need to wait 1.5 to 2 years to mature enough.
Absolutely. And I always recommend this to my clients especially. And these are the clients which are not from Dubai, they are from outside Dubai.
Yeah.
They come along with a lot of curiosity. They come up with a lot of questions in mind, and one thing that they always ask me, again coming back to the same point, what is going to happen in 2026? So just like you said that the corrections may or may not happen in a few pockets, but it is not going to happen in entire region, in entire Dubai. Some pockets will dip, some pockets will keep rising up, and again, location matters the most, the developer matters the most, and your purpose. In my opinion, the purpose of the buying matters the most. So
exactly,
if you are buying for the end use, you have to look for the location, you have to look for the convenience, you have to look for the entry and exit routes.
The proximity around the area that you are buying in.
Correct. If you are buying for investments, so you have to look what other projects are coming, alongside, what deliverables are getting delivered alongside it.
Numbers plays a big role in that.
Exactly. So for example, if you have invested in a project and at the same time the other projects are also getting handed over, then you don't have that kind of stability when it comes to the pricing.
When is the project is handed over. Absolutely. And this plays a big role today. Let me tell you something. We are expecting by 2040 over 7.8 million population in Dubai. So this needs time. We know people, they are moving, millionaires, billionaires are moving their businesses, their families to Dubai. So it needs time. So today, when DAMAC decides to do a handover, let's say in 2028 or 2029, we know that in that particular time, the demand will be huge. Why I need to make the payment plan tighter and let's say bigger chunks of money to be paid and hand it over in 2027 or 2020, let's say 6, where I know that the unit will be delivered. We will be waiting for someone to rent it out or buy it from us, because demand and supply plays a big role. So those 7.8 million people, they will not come one shot to Dubai. They will come gradually, especially as the new airport is opening, where they have approximately over 450,000 employees in that airport itself. So this is where the demand plays.
And when somebody also, this is very interesting topic, and I would personally like to discuss, to the best of my extent about, what is going to happen in 2026. Yeah. So when it comes to the demand, when somebody talks to me about the correction which is going to happen, which I don't really agree with, I always talk about one thing in particular. You just see the numbers of the amount of people coming to Dubai, the kind of residencies that the Dubai government is actually granting on a daily basis, and see the supply. And still there is a substantial gap that needs to be fulfilled. So I don't see any kind of substantial correction which is going to happen in the near future. I mean,
compared also Dubai to the global market, as return on investments, we are the highest, from 7, let's consider, to 12%, depending on how we are renting out the property. Plus, if we want to discuss the thing that we always discuss, Aditya, with our clients today, if you have $1 million, what it will get you in Singapore. We always ask our clients about the $1 million. Let's consider you have $1 million. What will it get you in Singapore?
Absolutely. And
New York.
I was actually, going through an article in which I'll share it with you, and I'll share it on, the description of this video as well. There was some article which have actually showed the valuation of the property as compared to the global cities, which Dubai is very much a part of.
Correct.
And if you compare Dubai's properties, not Dubai properties, to that of other global cities, it is still not overvalued. It is more or less undervalued even
100%.
now. And when people talk about the prices are really have grown up, that we are not able to we see a little bit of corrections, I always refer this particular article to those.
Correct.
Clients.
100%.
Talking about 2026, not about the dips and the corrections anymore, but since you work for DAMAC, you represent DAMAC. So if you can just tell us in few words, or maybe, I know that sometimes the information is really confidential. You're not supposed to, make it online or publicize that as well. But what are the plans for 2026 to 2030 of DAMAC? And what are especially one thing, what are the main locations that you would eye for?
As you have said, it's somehow confidential for sure. But what I can tell you, DAMAC will shake the market in 2026. We will be having a huge new era for us. So this is what I am confident about. This is what I can tell you.
Okay, wonderful. Because I've seen a lot of, when I see the Dubai maps, when I see the locations, I see a lot of land banks with the name DAMAC on it. Obviously, the location is very, different in other places. But I can really tell you that DAMAC is really coming up with a lot of projects, and thankfully, so far, all the DAMAC projects are running on very good premium. Let's say, for example, DAMAC Lagoons. The last launch, that was just a year back, I think approximately a year back, in Islands 1.
Yeah.
People have already started selling it on 10 to 15% premiums. Honestly, as a broker, I have seen this kind of appreciation with this kind of a timeline is very rare. And that really defines the kind of project and the kind of location selection from that of a DAMAC, that how thoughtful it is. How many minds must have worked in selecting that project, which is close to the amenities, close to the future projects of the Dubai government. And to acquire that area in total, that takes a huge effort, in totality. So that's really commendable, I would say.
And my advice to the investors, whenever there's a chance, grab it. Don't wait. The market is very fast. The project will not be waiting for you. Either you grab your chance, either it's now or never. And something else, and I said it before, invest and wait. Don't wait to invest. The market will keep on growing, the prices will increase. You will just wait for nothing.
So, Maha, tell me something about the tokenization and the fractional ownership of properties, how it started working, like the concept behind it.
So, the fractional ownership is now a trend. We have Prypco, which is again owned by our MD, Ms. Amira Sejwani, where we are allowing people with small amounts to invest in a property where they can get the rental incomes and get the appreciation when the property is sold. Definitely it will be with multiple buyers, but everything is under the government of Dubai, or the DLD, so it's safe. And it's also something very nice because most of the people now, they are teaching their kids buying or investing crypto or any other investments, do it in properties.
So,
Because again, it's the safest investment.
talking about this Prypco, that tokenization of the properties, like the fractional ownership of the properties. When it comes to the word Prypco, it's a brand now, which is represented by DAMAC, of course. So it only represents the DAMAC, the properties which are made by DAMAC?
No.
Okay.
It's general. It's totally different portfolio. So basically, no, it's not only DAMAC Properties. Basically, Prypco has multiple departments where we have the tokenization, the main point, and then we have the mortgage team, we have the golden visa team. And we have the Prypco secondary team where we list properties for the clients and sell it out. But as the tokenization, again, this is what is now in demand a lot, because again, people with small amounts, they are not able to buy a full property, but they want to invest in the Dubai real estate market. They have the chance now with a small amount where they can definitely start with it with multiple other investors.
So, Mahan, does that mean that Prypco, according to what you have told me, it means they invest in the propositions or the property irrespective of the developer or any property specific, or irrespective of the properties made specially by DAMAC. They invest in propositions, and clients or the people can invest in fractions, like you have made the properties as stocks, as units.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So with a very small amount, let's say around 2,000 dirhams, you can start your investment in the Dubai real estate market.
So what is the process of starting that? So do we have, because in general, because when you talk about tokenization, there is when we talk about stocks, when you talk about mutual fund, this is a kind of a mutual fund of properties.
It's very easy. You can start doing that at any time. There's an application, you can download it. It will be on the Google Play or on the Apple Store. Download it, do the procedure, the KYC, very easy, and then you can start your investment and have your application.
And it is only for the residents or the foreign investors?
Anyone in the world. Anyone in the world now can start investing in Dubai real estate market. So, and it's very important now, Aditya, because teenagers now, they are learning how to invest in the correct way. You have your pocket money, instead of you putting it somewhere. No, collect the amount, start your investment, and get your ROI and your rental income without even doing anything. You're sitting at home and making money.
Alongside, people are getting educated, like the youngsters, when you talk about, by investing a little fraction of their whatever allocated money.
Correct.
In attributes like these, they educate kids also.
Definitely.
They educate them.
Definitely.
So, Maha, what would you like to conclude this podcast with, like your suggestions, your recommendations to the clients?
First of all, thank you for having me. It's my first experience. It was nice. Second of all, again, my advice to the investors, don't wait, just invest and wait, and always grab the chance. Be fast, because the market dynamics are very fast in Dubai.
Especially in Dubai, yes.
And my last advice to the investors, definitely invest with DAMAC, as we are very well known in the market. We are present in the most of the strategic locations in Dubai and the world as well. Plus, our payment plans are very flexible. We are a master developers with communities. Our prices are always competitive in the market, and we really do take care of our investors, and we have broken records in our sales.
Maha, when coming to the conclusion of this discussion, let's have just to make the mood a little bit lighter, let's have a rapid fire round.
Let's do it.
I always love to watch these rapid fires, So according to you, in one line, you have to answer me in one word. I'll give you options, of course. Off-plan is best for who? Investors or end users?
Both.
Okay. One line answer. Biggest mistake first-time buyers make?
Emotional. They take their decision emotionally.
So one line answer. I mean, one line or one word that you can choose. A good payment plan is helpful for who?
For the people who doesn't want to take a mortgage, but they want to take a property and pay it by installments and zero interest.
Yes or no? A bigger unit is always means better decision.
No.
And why do you think so?
Again, depending on the clients. what they are looking for. Definitely, the bigger unit is lower square foot price, but again, it depends on the client's ability. So if the client is not able to take a 2-bedroom, why I need to give him a 2-bedroom? Don't pressure yourself. Go for 1-bedroom because the project itself is successful. Whatever you take in it, it's successful.
Perfect, DAMAC, and thanks a lot for coming here, taking out
pleasure.
time from your busy schedule. And in the last, from the broker's point of view, I would say that yes, it is a fact that the DAMAC is really choosing their future projects very strategically, very wisely. And honestly speaking, ever since I've been a broker in Dubai, I have not seen this kind of appreciation rate in that amount of time. That's really phenomenal. Talking about any product that you talk about, may it be DAMAC Lagoons, may it be Islands 1, Islands 2. So far, every project has been a massive hit. They have broken records. I have been there myself in the launches and I've seen that fire, I've seen that excitement, in the DAMAC employees, among the investors also, and the kind of after effects after the launch is really very encouraging. So I really thank you, Maha, for coming down once again.
Pleasure.
And hope to have more sessions with you with new updates in the DAMAC
Definitely.
in the future. Thank you very much.